I can't like see if it's working right or
It's
not.
great. Get all your comic books there. It's sweet.
Yeah, it's fantastic.
I got my favorite ones on the wall.
Oh, we're going to get to that. Hello, everybody. Welcome to another Three Geeks Conversations. Jason and Justin back together again. We are joined by Amber Martinez, who has been involved in a lot of my favorite shows. And we're going to get to that. But so you're a big comic book fan?
I am. Like, one of my favorite comics actually is The Eternals. And I'm really hoping to be working on it would be like I think it's called Phase 5, where they get to like Naal, which would be like the daughter of Ulysses, which is like one of the main characters in the Eternal, and she's like the Captain Marvel of her own time. So I'm like really hoping to get casted as that.
That'd be sweet. Yeah, that'd be sweet.
Yeah, right. Exactly. And then you get to, I like that comic book the best because you get to fight. They have like evil Zeus. They have the evil Zeus character. So like all the gods in that version are like evil characters that attacked like the innocent civilians in space. And it ties into like Guardians of the Galaxy too, which is cool.
Well, isn't Thanos an Eternal or an Inhuman? He's an Inhuman, so never mind.
Yeah, he's an Inhuman, but he's like from the same planet, Titan.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because Jack Kirby created all that. It was just a side world, right? Jack Kirby created that and wasn't really going to be a part of anything, but they looped it all.
Yeah, for sure. Mm-hmm. But the character I want to play, actually, she ties into the Nova Corps as well, because she's like a Nova Corps member. And she used to be Captain Marvel in her universe, and she's like the daughter of one of the Eternals. And so she ties in with the Eternal universe and also the Guardians of the Galaxy's universe.
Sweet.
Oh, this is going to be a great interview. I can already tell this is going to be fantastic. Yeah. We'll get into WandaVision because it sounds like that casting was right up your alley. But first, tell us about yourself. Where are you from?
I'm from Kansas. Mm-hmm. I know. It's like in the middle of nowhere and the middle of America, basically.
Yeah,
a lot of I feel very lucky. A lot of people don't get out of Kansas, and I came straight to Hollywood. So.
Sweet.
I think Christy Alley is also from Kansas, I think. I'm not sure, though, but I'm pretty sure she is.
Sweet.
That's cool.
And, like, the band Kansas.
They're from Maryland.
And, like, that's
it. What movies did you grow up watching?
Oh, my goodness. I watched all the Supermans, of course, because who doesn't? My favorite ones were the original ones with Christopher Reeves, though. I think he was the best Superman of all time, hands down. Although I am friends with Dean Cain, so he was really good also, but I really love Christopher Reeves.
Yeah. It's different. Movie and TV. It's all different.
Yeah, that's true, yeah. Christopher Reeves is definitely the best Superman.
I like Christopher Reeves as well. I think Michael Rosenbaum was the best Lex Luthor, but Dean Cain was my Superman because I grew up watching Lois and Clark.
Your TV Superman.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Dean Cain was the best television version of Superman. Oh, one of my puppies just came up here to interrupt the podcast.
It's all good.
I do like the new guy they have now. Tyler.
Thank you.
Tyler Holston is pretty good as Superman.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah, he's doing pretty good, I think. I like the show that he's in. I like seeing Superman as a father. I think that's a fun angle.
Yeah, definitely.
But, yeah, so besides Superman, what else did you grow up watching? I mean, you kind of have to, because Smallville, Kansas.
Right, exactly. That's what someone came up in another interview, too. They're like, oh, are you related to Superman? I'm like, maybe, who knows? I am from a small town in Kansas, but unfortunately, I'm not from Smallville, Kansas.
Is there a Smallville,
Kansas? That would be really awesome if I was.
Is there a Smallville, Kansas?
Not that I know of, no.
I doubt the dude that wrote it in Cleveland figured out
yeah.
all the towns in Kansas.
I think it was written, wasn't it written in Ohio?
Yeah,
it was written in Ohio,
yeah,
wasn't
I believe
it?
it was Cleveland. Yeah.
They were like, Kansas seems wholesome. We'll just put him there. I was like,
that's right.
It is, but
he'll love basketball. It'd be great.
Yeah, exactly.
So what made you want to get into acting?
Oh my goodness, I've been acting since I was 15.
Okay.
Yeah, a long time. I was a television host actually. I started television hosting when I was 15, and I did theatrical plays. And before that, I was a trained dancer, classically trained dancer from when I was 3 to 18. And I was trained singer since I was like 7, and I still sing now. Like I'll do audio tracks and releases, and I'm signed with HRX Records, so I do that as well. I do like pop rock, but I also sing. I've been classically trained in singing opera, so it's kind of funny.
That's awesome.
It's quite a collection of skills for sure.
It's very eclectic, yes.
So you were crowned Ms. United Nations Globe?
Yes, I was, and before that, I was Miss North America.
Nice, congratulations!
So I beat out this little girl from Kansas. Beat out all the other Americans for Miss North America, and then I went and I competed in Jamaica against 176 other women, and I took home the title of Miss United Nations Globe. So I was excited about that. I didn't think I was gonna win, but then I got there and I was like, I can do this. And then I ended up winning, and I'm like, oh my god, I won! And like, I'm like holding it down from the small girls from the middle of America everywhere.
So, what did you have like a talent or something? What all went into the competition? There were like their rounds and things like that.
Yeah, there was like tons of rounds. So in order to be nominated, you have to like have done a lot of like philanthropic services.
Sure,
so you have to be nominated first, and then in order to qualify for the competition, you have to do like over 500 hours of volunteer work with different charities and different organizations, and you have to have a platform. And my platform was helping women who are survivors of domestic violence and helping them start their new lives again, and helping them rebuild their children's lives and education. And that was my platform for that. I also worked with a bunch of organizations for environmental, aid and environmental relief. Like I worked with Tree People in Los Angeles to help replant and reforest some of the Angeles National Forest after all the forest fires and all the degradation that happened to the scorched earth and everything all around California. And I traveled to different states, and I helped with philanthropic works with feeding the homeless and helping the U.S. veterans. So I did a lot of work with that. And after doing all that, I went to Jamaica to compete, and I had to make a country costume. And so I was like, my mom like helped me sketch out an idea for my country costume, and I told her like I ultimately decided on what I wanted. And then my mom was like she like is a seamstress for fun.
Okay, yeah.
So I gave her like the design, and I when I decided what I wanted, I sketched it out and I gave it to her. My mom sewed it all for me, which was
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's a very Kansian thing to do, make your own costume. So I was in like my mom's little like sewing workshop and stuff, and she's like I'm sending her my measurements, and she's like measuring me, and I designed and we put together my own costume. And I had like a big cowgirl hat too with a giant feather. And it was all like really American, like red, white, and blue, sparkly stars.
You just go like super
everywhere.
over the top because you're representing the United States.
Over the top. I was like, like big country American. As American I think I could get, to really tell everyone I was from America and I represented America. And there was also like a talent competition. So I sang opera. But I actually had some girl do something really mean to me during my talent competition. Hercules. Shh. Oh, yeah, I named my dog after the comic, not Hercules comic. Back to the subject. I had some girl do something really mean to me during the finals. There was like the talent competition, right? And you had to qualify for the talent competition, not like everyone who claimed that they had a talent could like do the talent. So you had to like show your talent first, and then you had to qualify to be able to compete in the talent competition. So I was singing opera, and I sang "Think of Me" from Phantom of the Opera, And it was my turn to go up, and they're like, "Oh, we can't find your CD." And one of the girls stole my music CD. And I was like, why would they do that? And it was like, and I don't want to say what country it was from because I know she'll probably watch this and
Definitely
be really
Canada.
upset. Yeah, exactly. So she stole my soundtrack, and I'm like, that's okay. And she's like, what? And I'm like, yeah, I'm still going to go up anyway. And everyone looked at me like it was completely crazy. And I sang the whole song like a cappella. And like I ended up winning that part, which is like really exciting. And I didn't have my soundtrack, so she didn't stop me. And my mom's like a reverend, and she's like, look, see, I was praying for you. And, you know, it was meant to be because this could have been really embarrassing, and I'm glad it wasn't. And I was like, thanks, Mom. But yeah, and the same girl tried to push me off the stage during the country costume like thing. Like I was standing there holding my country costume because you know how they have in beauty competitions how they have the girls like walk with their costume and they like stand on a certain point on the stage. Well, I was standing, and instead of walking past me, she like shoved me, and I almost went off like the side of the stage. It was like a 20-foot drop. I'm like, this lady's like so crazy.
Yeah,
she's
it's
like
like murder now.
Like,
yeah.
Right? Exactly. I'm gonna get murdered up in Jamaica. Yeah, and another girl stole my shoes. Like my mom had to go out and buy like high heels from a last minute store like in the middle of Kingston because this girl stole my high heels for one of my evening gown competition. Yeah, but that was a different girl. Like two girls were trying to take me out at the same time, and I'm like, I didn't know I was that much of a competition to be like have all this warrant, all these things, you know, happen.
Well, then like the start of the whole competition was all your philanthropic work. Like you'd think people that were coming from that background wouldn't be like, yo, I'm going to steal from this girl.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I think a few of them, like I'm not going to say who, but a few of them I think lied and said that they did some work that they didn't actually do. So that way they could make the qualification of like all the hours. But I actually did every single hour's worth of volunteering. And I helped the Dalai Lama and his staff open a new like Buddhist temple in Westminster, California. So I did that as part of my volunteering as well.
I thought you were going to say restaurant, and I'd be very confused.
A restaurant, a Buddhist restaurant. No, I love the Dalai Lama. He's cool. It was like one of the best experiences in my life. I'm so glad I did it.
That's awesome.
That is awesome. So how do you go from all that? Like, you're in some pretty awesome shows, and I want to start with Euphoria. How do you get that job?
I'm a trained dancer, so I got the job because I get booked for choreographed dance as well.
Awesome.
That you should kick someone in the head.
Yeah, I have a bunch of different agents that book me for different things. Yeah.
Okay.
That's how you survive longevity here. You have like multiple agents, not just one. Because if you only have one, you're only going to get whatever they submit you for. But if you have multiple, you'll have like 18, 19, 20% more chance of booking something.
That's not super expensive. Is that as expensive as it sounds? Having like 25 different people helping you find stuff?
No, because the agent only gets a percentage from the job they book you for.
Okay.
So they all don't. Yeah. they all don't get a same percentage of each job. It's just whatever job they do. Just like my entertainment attorney, like he only gets 5% of whatever contract he does for me, not all my contracts.
That's fair. That's good.
Yeah.
So what is it like on set for the Goldbergs?
Oh my gosh, it was so fun. Everybody was really nice. And like first I got on set and I was like super nervous because I was like, oh, Wendy McClendon-Covey. I'm like, I love her. She's so great. And then I got nervous because I was like, everybody was like so big time. And I didn't know what to do. And then I showed up and everyone was so friendly and it was really chill and very professional. And they were like, okay, rolling. And then everyone does their job. And then the camera stops and everybody was like joking around with each other a bit. And then they're like, rolling. We go back to working again. So it was really cool and relaxed set. It was fun. Everybody was super nice, chill, and professional. It wasn't like anything that I had built my nervousness up to. And then I just saw actually Wendy again at the Family and Film Awards. And she was actually receiving an award for the Goldbergs. So it was funny because I was like, I was going as talent, and then I saw her as talent there too, and then I looked at who was nominated, and I'm like, no way, that's uncanny.
I gotta ask because Jeff Garlin is one of my favorite comedic actors, from Curb to the Goldbergs. What's he like?
Oh, super nice. Yeah, he's a really nice person in person, and he's very professional. He does his job, and then he goes home.
That's fair.
Yeah, it's good to work with really professional people because, one, there's nothing negative to say about them. Two, it helps everybody's day go easier because everyone just goes to their job, does their job, and then we're like, okay, day's done. No drama. Super cool.
I got to ask you about one more, and I actually remember seeing you on this show, and then I'll let
for
Justin
sure.
take us into WandaVision. So, what's it like on The Good Place? Another fantastic show, because you were part of Jason's dance crew.
Yeah, I was dancing too. Yeah. Oh my gosh, it was really fun. So we shot that. I think it was that one we did at NBC. It may have been, or it could have been Universal Backlot. No. It was it was Universal at Universal Studios. I shot that one. I was there. My call time was, I think, 4:30 in the morning. And then I was getting ready, and I was nervous because Ted Danson's on that show, and I didn't know if I was going to be in the same episode with him. And then he was like 2 feet from me, and I'm like, oh my god, like this legend Ted Danson is like here. Like I better not mess up, So I just thought it was really like a really, really cool experience, and he's so nice, and the rest of the cast is really great too. But I felt I had to pinch myself afterwards because I didn't believe that I had gotten a job with Ted Danson because everybody knows him, like Cheers, everything, like one of the most famous actors of all time. And even though he was a television actor mostly now, he did tons of big movies back in the 80s and early 90s. Like he's a household name. So I felt really blessed and honored to be booked for the show. I'm actually on 2 episodes, the last 2 episodes.
Mm-hmm. I don't know if this is true, but this is something I've been thinking about lately. Is Ted Danson the most successful television actor? Because he literally went from Cheers to Becker to CSI to The Good Place to his new show, Mr. Mayor, which was just picked up for another season.
I know, right? Like he just ended The Good Place, and then it's like Mr. Mayor, and I'm like, he's on another show. Like our show just ended like a week ago.
He's like consistently working. It doesn't seem like any of his shows get canceled. They seem to go on forever.
I know. He's very talented, I mean, that's good for the network. Like his shows don't get canceled because he's amazing. But yeah, I really thought that was a very big pleasure for me to work on it. I did not think I would ever work with Ted Danson. I was just like, I did say when I was a little kid, I'm like, when I was watching the Cheers episode, I was like, I'm gonna work with that man one day, mommy. And my mom was like, okay. And then I got to set, and I was like, holy crap, it's Ted Danson. I called my mom afterwards too, and I'm like, Mom, remember when I pointed at the TV and I said I'm gonna work with that man one day? And she's like, oh, you're talking about that Cheers episode that you made me watch like 18 times? I was like, yeah, I just worked with him today. So it's funny. It's like I was manifesting stuff when I was a little child.
Yeah, knew what you were gonna do.
Yeah, you've worked with sitcom royalty, and then you rolled from all that into WandaVision.
Straight into Marvel.
Yeah, Elizabeth Olsen is one of the most underrated actresses in Hollywood, and she has been for quite some time. And yeah, I mean, going from somebody who obviously likes comic books to being in a comic book property for the biggest studio in the business right now, forget comic books in general. They're just cranking stuff out and it's doing billions of dollars. Like, what is that experience like for a comic book fan to be in it? Like you're in a comic book.
I know, exactly, right? I think Elizabeth Olsen is incredibly talented. I loved her in the movie The Secret. Did you see that?
Mm-hmm.
The Secret movie? Mm-hmm. Oh my God. I was like, uncanny how amazingly talented she was. But I actually did not know that I was booked for WandaVision until I was on set. Like, because it was all code names. So I got how the process. I know, right? Right. I was like, how the process worked is they're like, the casting director was like, oh, hey, are you available on set for these days, or are you booked for something already? I need to know because I need somebody with your talents. And I'm like, oh, okay, yeah, no, I'm free. And they're like, okay, well, we need you to go get a COVID test, and then once you clear the COVID test, we'll we'll put you back that way, and I'll call you back once you clear the COVID test. I'm like, okay. So they called me back, and they're like, can you go to Western Costumes? I said, okay, I'll go over and I'll get fitted for a costume. And I went over there, and I was like thinking I was gonna get like, outfitted like Cirque du Soleil or something. And I got there, and I got like this sexy like like tight circus outfit. I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna be like this sexy, circus performer. And I'm like, this must be something for FX because it's like really sexy looking. My costume was like, and I didn't actually have brown pants. It was black fishnets, but they made them look like brown pants because I think it became a little too sexy for Disney, So they actually like green screened that, but they were originally black fishnets. So then I go and my set day comes, and I have all my professional circus performing hoops and all my supplies and everything because I do it as a real skill. It's not like I'm in my backyard like hooping or something, Like I've had like years of training and experience on how to like do like the full circus skill. And so I get there and I'm driving, and all of a sudden I'm approaching like an entrance, and I'm like, oh my God, I'm at the Disneyland ranch. So I started freaking out because I'm like, I'm working for Disney. This is amazing. So I'm getting like progressively more and more excited. And I'm like, it's like Disneyland Golden Oaks Ranch. And I'm like, oh my God, I'm going to be in a Disney movie or a Disney show. So I got really excited. And then I parked and I checked in and everything with the crew. And I go over to hair and makeup. Yeah, that's me. I go over to hair and makeup, and I go and I sit down in the chair, and the makeup artist is like, oh yeah, so can you pull your hair back for me? I'm just going to do your face, and then you're going to go into hair. And I was like, okay. So I'm like, oh, and she started giving me like glamorous makeup, and I'm like, oh, I thought I was going to have some like Cirque du Soleil paint over my face or something. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, I'm really excited, but I don't know what this is for. And she's like, what? And I was like, yeah. And she's like, you don't know that you're booked on WandaVision? And I was like, oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. I'm like freaking out in my chair. I was like, wait a minute. I'm working for Marvel today. I'm like, this is amazing. WandaVision. Oh my God. And she's like, yeah. She's like, this is WandaVision. You're on WandaVision. And I'm like, oh, girl, make me look extra good. I got to look Marvel good. So she's like, oh, don't worry about it. You're beautiful. It's like, so then I started getting nervous, and I'm like, oh my God, I better start practicing. So I was like religiously practicing all the way up until like my part of my taping. And like I was off on the side doing like all my tricks to try and decide which ones I wanted to do. And like the hairstylist did my hair, and then I'm like, okay, I'm ready to go on green screen. And when I got on set, and I was like, and I saw who I was on set with, I was like, oh my God, I started getting nervous. Like this is the truth. Actors, we get nervous. I mean, some will tell you, no, I wasn't nervous. But if you've never acted with someone and they're like way more famous than you, sure. Like you're famous, but they're like way more famous, it still makes you nervous to be on set with them, So I took like a really deep breath, and then I'm like, oh, this has got to be good. Like, I can't mess this up. This is Marvel and Disney, and I got to bring my A game.
No pressure.
And so as soon as I got out there, it was like all the nervousness went away. Like a sea of calm came over me, and I just focused on just my art. And I was like blocking out everything around me. And we actually did the full takes from all different angles to see where the cameras would want to shoot us. So I had like 5 cameras, like 4 or 5 cameras on me, like the whole time during the scene that I was working on. And some of it was green screen, some of it wasn't green screen, and that's just movie magic. Like I can't get into too much details because then it would be like, I can't talk about how everything was shot or anything. Like, because that's an NDA. But I can tell you like the basic stuff, what I did.
That's
Yeah.
awesome. That is super cool, super fun. Like as a comic book fan, just to be on that set, I bet was incredible. And
it was really incredible, and I would never change it for the world. Everybody, the cast and crew were all super nice and kind. Everyone was very professional. It went fast. The AD was amazing. So I had a really good time, and I'm very grateful. And I definitely want to work for Marvel again.
What's nice about Marvel is they do bring back, people from the movies, no matter how small the role was. Like in Spider-Man Far From Home, they brought back somebody who was in the background of Iron Man to be part of the villain. So I thought that was really cool.
Exactly. Right. So bring me back, Marvel. I want to work again. And for you.
Yeah. Then jump over to DC, create a rivalry. Be great.
I always wanted to play Power Princess, which is like Marvel's version of Wonder Woman, but she kind of turns evil and then goes back to being good again. Do you know who I'm talking about? Have you read Power Princess before?
I have not, but I want you to do that.
She has an invisible shield. She doesn't have an invisible jet, but she has an invisible shield.
That's more helpful, I think. Is Wonder Woman can fly in general.
Yeah, right? I mean, Power Princess can just push people off her with this giant shield.
They'll never know
and
what
protect
happened.
herself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you get to meet Kevin Feige?
I'm sorry, what'd you say?
Did you get to meet Kevin Feige?
I didn't, because I think he was behind the tent in the producer's tent, because there was a producer's tent that was completely closed off, and usually that's where they have they have like a section that's attached to that called Video Village, where they go over they can see everything while it's being taped and stuff.
I think if I ever met Kevin Feige,
it prevents them from being disturbed when they're trying to do their job.
That makes sense.
If I ever met Kevin Feige, I'd be doing the Wayne's World "Where I'm Not Worthy" thing, because that guy has done something special over the span of 24 projects now, 25 with
for sure
Falcon and Winter Soldier. Amber,
but I don't know where I would go from where it ended though.
It'll probably pick up because I know she's in.
Agnes is Agnes trains Wanda. That's a comic book thing, so I could see where she would get some tutelage from Agnes, and then
and she did trap her in the last season inside the little town that doesn't exist anymore.
But Elizabeth Olsen is going to be in Doctor Strange and Spider-Man, so whatever she's left off in Spider-Man would probably set up season 2.
Yeah, definitely. I would play Spider-Woman for sure.
Would you want to be Spider-Gwen?
What?
You want to be Spider-Gwen?
Yeah. I feel like I can play the original Spider-Woman was a scientist. Did you know that by day?
It makes sense. I did not know that.
Yeah, she's originally a scientist by day, and then by night she's Spider-Woman, and then they had a Spider-Woman where she was like a detective by day, and then Spider-Woman by night, and now it's like I don't know what Spider-Woman is anymore because they've changed her day job so many times at this point since the 70s.
Spider-Woman freelancer. It's whatever you need to be.
Spider-Woman influencer by day.
That's right.
Instagram influencer
just
by
on Twitter day. All day. Just I gotta go save somebody now. Let me tweet this.
Let me go Instagram live while I'm saving somebody.
That's right. Look how popular I am. I got to go.
That'd be so sad. I would never want that to happen.
That would not be great.
Don't do that, Marvel. That's a bad idea. No Instagram influencer Spider-Woman.
Would be funny for like a half a minute.
I think they should go back to the original one where she's the scientist and then becomes Spider-Woman.
Sure, I can get behind that for sure. It'd be fun.
It's kind of like there is one where I think she was younger, and then her dad's a scientist too, and then injects her with spider venom to try and save her from I'm so nerdy right now.
That's great. This is 3 geeks.
Save her from some disease or something that she had when she was a kid, and then she grows up to be a scientist, and then from the injection she starts having the spider powers and starts turning into Spider-Woman at night.
It'd be sweet.
I think it's a cooler background, don't you think?
Yeah. I think it's a great background. Yeah.
Amber, I want to thank you so much for joining us today. I need to get you on our live show sometime because you would fit in.
Oh yeah,
so well.
I'd love to.
So we'll discuss that because it needs to happen because you're as knowledgeable as any of us. So we'll make that happen.
People talk to our people, and our people talk to your people.
Oh yeah, and then anyone can we could have some fans ask me questions too. That'd be cool.
Mm-hmm.
I registered for Comic-Con, but then I was sad that it didn't get to happen again this year because of the pandemic. But I hope it'll be next year.
Hey, you can do some of those sweet tricks in the
right.
Can I come?
There's a small.
I can record me doing some of them, and then we could send it to you, and you could do it as
yeah, it'd be great.
B-roll footage.
I want to thank you for reaching out to me because this has been awesome. Where can everybody find you on the social medias?
Oh my gosh, you guys can find me at Amber_Martinez_official on Instagram, and on Twitter you can find me at _Amber Martinez. And then you guys can reach out to me personally if you want through the contact form on my website at amber-martinez.com.
Awesome. Again, thank you so much, everybody listening and watching. Check out Amber Martinez and all of the wonderful things she is doing on all of her social medias. Hit that subscribe button. Hit that like button. Check us out, 3geeks.ninja. And from all of us, have a great day.
See you.
Thank you.